Mary Blair drew concept art for such films as Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Song of the South, and Cinderella. She designed the animated dolls for the very first version of It's a Small World. But perhaps her greatest achievement is creating the enormous mosaics for Disney's Contemporary Resort, and her most famous contribution to the Disney mythos is the five-legged goat. I have a confession to make. I'm really not proud of this. My wife and I first visited Walt Disney World in 1973, and I have been in the Contemporary at least 25 times. But I could never find the freaking five-legged goat. I mean, it wasn't for lack of trying. I've stared at that 90-foot-high mural until my eyes bled. No goat. Why didn't I just ask someone? Because I was embarrassed by the failure of my Disney tuition, which should have somehow guided me to the five-legged freak with no assistance from other Disney geeks. It was humiliating. Then one day, only 2 years ago, Sharon and I were in Disney's contemptuous resort hotel, waiting for a monorail, when I heard a woman behind me say to her friend, "There's the goat with 5 legs." I turned around, and there it was, mocking me.
Our next stop will be the Transportation and Ticket Center, which includes Magic Kingdom car and bus parking.
I decided I needed further humiliation, so what would be the best way to accomplish that?
Do you know me? Would you believe I'm Bugs Bunny? I'm also the voice of many other cartoon characters. But in here, they don't care if I'm Elmer Fudd. So I carry an American Express card, the one card I need for travel and entertaining, for business and pleasure. Why, without this, the only way I'd get any attention is by saying, that's all, folks.
To apply for a card, call 800-528-8000.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Tomorrowland isn't my favorite land in the Magic Kingdom, but it does have my favorite trees anywhere. Know what this used to be? This kiosk was one of the Magic Kingdom's original ticket booths. Long before the days of park hoppers, you bought a single day's admission and one of these, a ticket book. It came with an assortment of tickets, each good for one visit to one attraction. The e-tickets were good for the cool stuff, such as the Haunted Mansion, but you always ended up with unused A-tickets. If You Had Wings was never an e-ticket. In fact, it didn't require a ticket at all, since it was sponsored by Eastern Airlines. It was one of Sharon's favorites, but the space and the ride system is now occupied by Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. This ride is basically a shooting gallery, except that you move instead of the ducks. It depends rather heavily on Day-Glo paint and plywood, and it's not nearly as elaborate as Universal Studios' Men in Black Attack, but it's still fun, and it still gets long lines.
If you had wings, had wings, had wings, had wings, had
You could fly to Bermuda like a flying fish. Have a ball on a cruise ship, or catch fish if you wish. If you had wings,
if you had wings, if you had wings, had wings, had wings, had wings, had
you won't buy a sombrero made of real fine straw. Or how about a nice handbag for your pretty mama?
This is what happens when you try to shoot video and a space cannon at the same time.
You can have cheap, have cheap.
The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily those of MousePlanet. In fact, they're probably not. Minnie, the aurora is rising behind us.